Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics here. Hope you're all doing well. If you are a new viewer to this YouTube channel and you haven't done so already, please make sure you don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Clicking that subscribe button really shows your support for the content that I do, and it also helps the channel to grow and gets the word out about the videos. And it's absolutely free as well. It doesn't cost anything at all, and I would really appreciate it if you do make sure you subscribe. And I'd like to thank those who have recently subscribed to the channel as well, and make sure you don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button on this video and click the bell so you are notified when I upload any new content on the channel next. Now this is going to be my round 9 NRL preview between the Newcastle Knights and the New Zealand Warriors. And you might be thinking, hang on a minute, we've just played the Newcastle Knights only a couple of weeks ago. Well, that's right, we're playing them again for the second time, which is how crazy this NRL draw really is. We played them in round 4, obviously down at Go Media Announcement Stadium, and we won that game 20 points to 12. But I'm going to go through the team list. I'm going to go through how I think the game's going to go, and I'm going to run down some key plays and some key areas that both teams will need to do in order to win this game. Now, going into this one, Warriors obviously coming off that loss to the Gold Coast Titans on Anzac Day. Really disappointing to not win that one in Auckland, especially when you think about it being a massive occasion in front of the home fans. And the performance from the Warriors in that game was just not good enough. And in the previous week, obviously losing to the Dragons in a big one as well, down there at Wing Jubilee Stadium in Wollongong. Now, as for the Knights, well, they're coming off a win over the Dolphins, a shock win down there in Brisbane, without Kalen Ponga, their star fullback, and young Armstrong there, the fullback there, make his debut, and he had a strong debut as well in itself. So the Knights getting themselves a confidence-boosting win going into this match against the Warriors. As for the Warriors, obviously, trying to find out why it's gone so wrong over the past couple of weeks, especially when you think about the fact that this team has been talked up quite a lot this year. There's a lot of expectations on the Warriors, but it's not really clicking so far this season. It hasn't really clicked into gear in terms of their attack, in terms of their defense. There's some players that are making key mistakes at crucial times. The Warriors, it's not the same Warriors team that they were last year. But in saying that, if you look at last year, the Warriors at that time of the year last year and this time of the year I think they lost 4-5 straight games in a row, So, look, it's not exactly disaster stations, but as Warriors fans at the moment, we are trying to figure out why has it not clicked? Why hasn't it clicked? What's the go? Our edge defense is not great. We're leaking points when we make mistakes. In the past, we defend our mistakes and we defend our line very well. So, look, we started off the season as one of the top defensive sides in the comp. We were right up there in the first couple of weeks. Now we've dropped down the past couple of weeks. So, something needs to change and something needs to start clicking real soon, because the Warriors can't afford to be, we can't really afford to be continuing on with these poor performances. We need to start getting back on that horse, getting those massive 2 points, because looking at the draw, and I hate to bring it up, it is a very tough draw and run over the next couple of weeks. This is going to be the biggest challenge of the Andrew Webster era. Since Webster took over, this is going to be the challenge for Webster that he is going to be facing, as well as the team as well. Looks like Webster, from what I'm hearing and what he said, he's up for the challenge. He's definitely up for the challenge, and he knows that this team is not performing well at the moment. He knows that we're not playing at our best, and we need to start getting back to our best real soon. We can't afford to, leave it to the end of the season and be starting to chase wins in order to get into the finals in the top 8. And, we want to be a team that's not just challenging for finals. We want to be a team that's challenging for top 4. And at the moment, we're not really showing we're a top 4 side right now. So, look, it's been a sign for the past couple of weeks for me. If you look at the Manly game, we drew to Manly. We got away with that game. We should have lost that. We were very disappointed for the opening couple minutes. Manly were on fire. We came back to get a draw. In the wins this season against the Raiders and the Knights, the opponents we're playing this week, they weren't as convincing. So, and then we lost to the Sharks in round 1 at home. So, look, the only convincing performance we've had so far, and complete performance, was that Rabbitohs game. Now, the Rabbitohs, look, no offence, but really, to be honest, the Rabbitohs are a very ordinary side. They sit bottom for a reason. Their coach is under pressure. Now he's sacked. So, look, it shows where the Warriors are currently at the moment. And look, it's not disaster stations for me right now. But if the Warriors don't start getting some wins soon, it's going to become a bit of an issue. A bit of a problem, a bit of a worry. You want to... Look, we've got the bye coming up as well. This week, Knights game, Roosters the following week in Sydney. Then we've got the Panthers in Magic Round Brisbane, which is a game I'll be attending for Magic Round. So, and then the Dolphins at home before the bye. So, realistically, we've got to look at winning this game. And then we got to, I think we got to at least get 2 wins before the bye. I think 2 wins or 3 wins before the bye. In my opinion, I think that's what we're going to be targeting leading into that bye week. But this game, for me, is a massively important one for the Warriors. For morale, for confidence, to get back in the winner's circle. It's the key for the Warriors. It's the key. It's really the key. But in saying that, the Knights, no Kalen Ponga. Yep, there's going to be a lot of people that say the Warriors should win this comfortably. But for me, I feel right now I can't say every week is comfortable for the Warriors right now. I can't say it until we see the Warriors back clicking again. Then I will start to get more of my, usual confidence. I've seen this team get, feel like the Warriors can win comfortably each week. But they're not in that stage at the moment. They're not at the stage where I can feel like they're going to be comfortable to win. Actually, you know what? I feel like I'm more nervous for this game than I have been for a couple of weeks ago. I wouldn't have felt that a couple of weeks ago, but now I do. And I'm sure a lot of Warriors fans will echo the same thing. This is another banana skin type game for the Warriors. Playing the Knights in Newcastle, in front of the Newcastle faithful, it's not an easy place to go and play the Knights. We struggled against Newcastle last year. We lost pretty convincingly to them over there. Obviously, we beat them at home in the finals, but they're not a team to take lightly, regardless of who they've got out. Obviously the Knights' attack revolves around Kalen Ponga. It's why they did so well last year. Why they finished where they finished, and why they had that finals run that they did, and why KP won the Dally M. It was basically because of what he did as an individual. So, look, the Knights will want to send out a statement. They did that last week against the Dolphins. They want to do it again this week and show that they're not a team that relies on one player in particular in Kalen Ponga. And you look at the Knights forward pack as well. I look at their forward pack in this one. Man, their forward pack's really strong. They've got Jacob Saifidi, Leo Thompson, your Dylan Lucas, your Kyle Pearce-Paul, and your Adam Elliott. That's a very good forward pack for the Knights. Yeah, it's pretty underrated in my opinion. Then you've got, the likes of a Phoenix Crossan coming off the bench. You can play a bit of hooker. Daniel Saifidi as well, another strong player as well. And then you got the likes of Jed Cartwright and a Brodie Jones as well. So you can't look at that Knights side and say that they have a very weak team. You can't. That you can't. Yes, no Ponga is a big blow. It's a big blow in itself. And they would have loved to have Kalen Ponga for this game. And last week. But that young fullback himself in, I think it is David Armstrong. David Armstrong had a very good debut last week for the Knights. Very impressive young kid, very talented as well, and you can see that. The Knights, didn't struggle without Ponga last week. They really didn't. So I think if you look at the thing that I look about this week's game for the Warriors and the key ins that are coming into the side, which probably for me I didn't expect to be named this week. The likes of Bunty Afoa coming off the bench there. And also for the Warriors as well, Kurt Capewell back in the second row. That is a massive in for the Warriors, especially when you look at Kurt Capewell. Now, Kurt Capewell, I think so far this season, look, he's been great in terms of a defensive point of view for the Warriors. He offers a lot in defense, but I think right now, of course, for me, obviously he's had some struggles with injuries this season. But his attack, in terms of his what he brings in attack for the side, probably not great, but that's me being completely honest. But obviously what he brings to this team in defence is a real key for the Warriors as well. So, yeah, so I'll go through the Warriors team again. I'll go through the Warriors team here. Not again, I haven't actually gone through it yet, sorry guys. So, yeah, I'll go through the Warriors team. So, fullback, Chance Nicoll-Klugstad, Dallin Watini-Zelezniak, Rocco Berry, and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Marcelo Montoya there. So the back five remains unchanged, and the halves remain unchanged with Tamari Martin 5'8" for Sean Johnson halfback. Fanua Blake prop, Wade Egan hooker, Mitchell Barnett prop, and Jackson Ford and Kurt Capewell second row with Tohu Harris lock. Dylan Walker 14, Tom Ale and Jacob Laban and Bunty Afoa. And you got no Zion Ma'u this week. So Zion Ma'u's been named in the reserves with Adam Pompey, Edward Cozy and Tane Tawapiki and Tanner Stowers-Smith. And the outs for this one is Paul Roach. Now, the referee for this game is Chris Butler and the senior review official is Liam Kennedy there. Now, yeah, so that's the teams. And overall, when you look at that team for the Warriors, still the biggest worry for me at the moment is definitely the forward pack. It's definitely a bit of a concern right now. Now, Dylan Walker coming back into the side last week was great against the Titans, especially. So having him in for another week is great for the Warriors, especially what he brings from that bench. The impact he provides in that utility type role. Also, Kurt Capewell, I've already talked about him as well. Bunty Afoa, big in as well. Big, massive in Bunty Afoa off the bench there. And, he's going to add plenty as well to the table for the Warriors especially. So, look, generally speaking, this is probably the best Warriors team we could line up with this week. Now, I am a bit surprised that we didn't make a lot more changes than we did. But, obviously, as expected, I mean, Webby doesn't throw out 10-5 changes if he sees a game. He usually gives the players another opportunity. So, look, the back five, it's been coming under a bit of pressure, over the past couple of weeks. Our centres, more so, and our wingers, in terms of their defence, obviously there's going to be a bit of a weakness that maybe the Knights could expose in this game, and it's definitely our centres and wingers and their defence. So, if the Knights look at the tape, that will probably be something that I think the Knights will target in this game. And hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully that this week our left side edges are more stable and defensively, and there's probably a bit more trust involved in our defence with that side. But look, as for fullback at the moment, I think Chance has been playing outstanding. You can put up his hand and say he's been playing great over the past couple of weeks, despite the results. And Chance, obviously, he has been topping the running meters over the past couple of weeks. So a big shout out to Chance, I think. And I think Chance, for me, anyone who keeps saying that Rogers should be fullback, I think that should be blown out of the water, I think, for me. But look, I think another thing I want to talk about is Tamari Martin and Sean Johnson. Now, Tamari Martin, look, I think he needs to step up a bit more, to be quite honest. And look, I don't think he's playing horrible. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's not playing terrible, albeit. But I think he needs to do a bit more kicking. And Shaun Johnson's doing a lot of kicking, and Shaun Johnson's been kicking great, don't get me wrong, but there's also some areas where Shaun Johnson's been kicking, and the game plan's not really working. There's times where he's kicking to the wingers so regularly, and then we're not applying the pressure. So I feel like the pressure needs to come off Shaun Johnson a bit. We need to stop putting a lot of kicking pressure on him, and we need to see the likes of Tamari Martin do some kicking. And show a bit more in terms of attacking play as well for me. But look, Shaun, is stepping up and doing his job, and the pressure can't be on Shaun all the time in terms of a kicking perspective. So, yeah, look, I just want to see a bit more from Tamari Martin. And look, I'll be completely honest, man, I was so gutted when Luke Metcalf got injured. I feel like Luke Metcalf, some people will say his defence is not great. But you know what he brings in attack, Luke Metcalf, is a lot more variety for the Warriors. He brings a bit more. Obviously, he's a quick player as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we're missing Luke Metcalf right now at the moment with our attack right now. So, look, hopefully Tamari Martin, can step up over the next couple of weeks and play a bit better. But in this game, he's going to need to do a lot more against the Knights. I think against the Titans, it was okay, but he needed to do a little bit in terms of his kicking game and the attacking side of things as well. But hey, we know Tamari Martin's a good defender. He's a good defender, but we need a bit more as well into that variety of attack. We can't be very predictable, and that is what we've talked. This is what I reckon This is the word I mentioned in our attack this year so far has been predictable. We do the same old attacking plays, and the other teams are sitting there and just defending it. And we're not applying that pressure to the opposition team. And I know we've been racing up to 12-0 leads in games, and then it all comes down. It all gets just pear-shaped because we make a mistake or we give away a stupid, silly penalty. And discipline is something I want to talk about in this video. Discipline needs to be a lot better. It definitely needs to be a lot better for the Warriors in this game against the Knights. We need to sort that one out because, we can't give away silly penalties and, expect the Knights not to score. We can't. So, it's another thing. There's a couple of things that I can just, talk about a lot, for the Warriors this season was, the fact that we've, in games, had moments where, we've let ourselves down on the foot and we've shot ourselves in the foot with crucial errors, crucial penalties given away, and that's allowed opposition teams confidence to get back into the game. And that's what happened against the Titans where they were down 12-0. And then they got that try and they got them confidence and tails up. So I think what Webby's gonna do this week will be really interesting, and how his game plan is approaching this one. Whether he is going to go with the same game plan for the past couple of weeks, or is he going to change it up? I feel like the Warriors need to look at maybe throwing some offloads in. I know we're not an offloading team. I know we weren't an offloading team last year as well, but I feel like we need to throw a bit more, like some more variety into the attack, maybe some offloads, some second phase footy to try and expose the Knights defensively. And the Knights aren't a top team. Don't get me wrong; they're not a top team, but they've got their players to really get at the Warriors, the likes of a Gaggais, a Bradman Best, your Hanare Tualas, your Jackson Hastings and your Tyson Gambles can provide a bit for the Knights as well. I think obviously for me, maybe for the Warriors' perspective of who they can target against the Knights, for them they could target Armstrong, the fullback. Maybe throw some high bombs up Shaun Johnson. Put a bit of pressure on the young fullback. I think maybe that's something the Warriors could be looking at for this game in terms of a game plan. Maybe target him, but you don't want to be pushing the envelope with the bombs too much in this game, especially. So yeah, And another thing I'd probably say in regards to this game is the Knights are going to want to make a bit of a statement. Now, a statement where a lot of people are doubting their chances and opportunities to win games now with no KP in the side. And they're at home, in front of their Newcastle faithful as well. And, we know the Newcastle fans love to tune out for a game on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon. They're such passionate fan bases. So, look, the Knights will also be wanting to get a little bit of a revenge after the Warriors beat them early on the season, round 4, down there at Go Media Mount Smith Stadium. And that game for me, when you look back at that game against the Warriors Knights game at Go Media, that game for me was a real struggle for the Warriors in that second half. So the Knights will be looking at that and saying, hang on a minute, after what we saw in that second half against the Warriors in that game in round 4, we can really get to the Warriors. So the Warriors need to be on song in this one. They really need to have the mindset of going to Newcastle and prepare to be in a grind. We need to prepare to be in a grind with the Knights. We can't go there and expect that we are going to win, comfortably against the Knights. And I don't have that mindset at the moment as a fan. I think over the next couple of weeks, I feel like it's probably going to be the most nerve-wracking couple of weeks as a Warriors fan, but it's crucial. It's crucial the next couple of weeks the Warriors need to get 1 or 2 wins, well, at least 3 wins if they can do that, before the bye, and this is a chance to bounce back and get a result against a team that's going to be so hungry to get another win after their win against the Dolphins. And we can't take them lightly. No fan should be expecting the Warriors to win this one 13 plus. Yes, it would be nice to win 13 plus, but over the past couple of weeks, when I thought we should have bet the Dragons, we should have bet the Titans as well. I thought those games that we should have won, and we didn't deserve to win either of those 2 games either, and we weren't good enough. So, look, this game, again, it's a danger game for the Warriors. There's a lot of expectation. A lot of people feel like the Warriors should bounce back, and I feel the same too, but I'm also feeling quite nervous about this game, I'm not going to lie. I'm confident, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely confident. I've got full faith in the team and feel like we can win this game, but I'm also a bit nervous as well. So, look, the Knights, for me, are a team where they've had a bit of a mixed bag this year. Their form has been a bit of a mixed bag. But in saying that, teams that are bottom who are not going great, you don't expect to win. They come out firing and, they get a win. So, look, the Warriors, obviously, for me, the key for this game for them is how they manage their defense and how they manage a game when they're up. If they're up by 12-0, 16-0, or if they're behind, is how much patience they can show to stay in the game. So, and it's all about making sure we minimise the penalties conceded. Our discipline needs to be on song. Our defence on our line needs to be at our real best. And that's probably, we haven't seen that in a while now. And our execution, obviously, is important as well. When we get an opportunity, if the Knights make mistakes, and we got to make them pay. So those are my keys for the Warriors in terms of getting this win, getting this victory. As for the Knights, look, for them, it's basically what they did against the Dolphins last week. Yes, that was not a pretty game at all, to be quite honest. Probably one of the worst games of the round, alongside that Raiders-Sharks game, which I really thought was probably a snooze fest, to be honest. But look, it wasn't the greatest games. Knights just grinded out a win, and they'll be looking to do something similar here at home against the Warriors. The Warriors' record in Newcastle is not the greatest as well. We haven't won there in a while as well. We lost to them in Newcastle last year in a pretty, I think it was pretty big. Yeah, it was a pretty big score, actually. It was, from my memory. We lost pretty convincingly, and then we beat them convincingly in the finals at home. So, we've had some matchups with the Knights over the past couple of years, and we're becoming really familiar with taking on the Newcastle Knights as well. So, look, Knights for me, look, the keys for them is definitely just carry on what they did last week and get better, definitely. I think their position on the ladder at the moment shows that they're just not there right now with those top 8 sides. As for the Warriors, obviously our position on the ladder shows that we're not at our best at the moment either. So, yes, we've got a bit of injuries, but I can't use injuries as an excuse. Over the past couple of weeks, really when you think about it, those games were games that the Warriors should be winning. And this game against the Knights away is an opportunity to get a bit of confidence and momentum back for the Warriors leading into the next 2 weeks with the Panthers away in Brisbane on Magic Round, which the game will be attending, and the Roosters away in Sydney. 2 back-to-back games in Sydney and Brisbane as well before the Dolphins at home. So it's a crucial next couple of weeks, Warriors fans. It's a massive couple of weeks. We need to start getting back to the performances that we shown last year. We need to get back to what we shown last year. I know last year is in the past, but still, we want to see that Warriors team that show that resilience in defence. We want to see that Warriors show their potency in attack. And look, wouldn't be surprised if it's this game is an ugly result. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a 1-point win, a 4-point win, a 6-point win, or an 8-point win. I don't feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game at all. I go into this one actually thinking this is just going to be one of those tough, grinding defensive affairs that the Warriors will need to, make sure that they can hang on to this Knights side and get the points that they need on the scoreboard to be enough to get the result at the end of the day. So, look, generally speaking for me, overall, obviously, I'm backing the boys to win this game. We need the 2 points. It doesn't matter how much we win this game by. I do not care whether it's 1 point, 4 points, 2 points. I don't care if it goes to golden point and we win the game. We need the 2 points on the ladder. We need the 2 points. And this is a must-win game. I'm going to say it's a must-win game for me. It's a must-win because we don't want to be going to the Roosters game in Sydney in a week's time with another loss, and we don't want to be going into the Penrith game as well with a couple of losses in a row. Hopefully, the boys can get the job done, and I reckon we will. So, in terms of a prediction for this game, I'm going to go Warriors 1-12 here. I can't pick 13 plus at the moment. I think right now, based on what I've seen, I just feel like it'll be one of those games where the Warriors will just grind it out and show that their defensive resilience and get the result. And look, I don't really mind how we win this game, really. I don't really mind. And as long as we get the 2 points, and that's all that really matters to me. But look, if I'm looking at a key player as well, I'm going to have a look at a key player for the Knights. It's basically for me, the likes of a Dane Gagai there and Braden Bess. Two danger players for the Warriors they'll need to watch out for. Greg Marju as well. And also the Saifidi brothers as well. Jacob Saifidi in the forwards. Leo Thompson as well as another Knights player I'm looking out for as a Warriors fan. And also look out for that Daniel Saifidi off the bench. And then you've got the likes of the Brodie Jones as another underrated player as well. For the Warriors, key players for me, it's basically, the halves there, and Tamari Martin-Johnson, the likes of, Fanua Blakes as well in the pack. And I will say this with our forwards at the moment, what I've noticed as well, over the season so far is when Fanua Blake comes off the field, when he needs a rest, the Warriors, lack that go-forward punch. When Fanua Blake comes off, it's a bit of a worry. It's a bit of a worry because he just goes 100% every game. So my worry is at the moment is who's going to come on and do the job when Fanua Blake comes off. And I want to see a couple of players step up, especially our bench. Our bench needs to be a lot better as well. And I want to see that bench show a bit more impact as well. And look, some players don't get enough minutes, it finds that it's much harder for them to provide that impact. But you want to see a little bit of impact from the bench as well over over a game duration. But yeah, look, for me, it's definitely going to be those players for me the key for Newitt Blake. Obviously Egan there, Wade Egan. Your Barnett's as well, what he brings to the table. The back five. There's a bit of pressure on the back five this week. How will the back five respond? Not Chance. Not Chance for me. Chance is not under pressure. He's doing his job. He's probably the only standout for me in the back five at the moment. Artius had a better week last week in terms of his game against the Titans, so he was a lot better with the way he played. But defensively, we want to see from the outside backs, the putting in their tackles, doing their work, and hopefully, hopefully that happens this week. Hopefully it does happen. But yeah, so the key for me, those are my key players. Now, in terms of the other prediction, I'm going to go, in terms of the try scorer prediction, guys, I'm going to go with first try score. We'll go this week. And we'll have Dallin, Dallin here to bounce back and get, I think Dallin, Watini, Zalesniak will have a big bounce back game, actually. And I back him in, DWZ. He's going to get 2 tries in this one. I reckon he'll score a double. And my other try scorers for this one, I'm going to go with, I'll go Rocco Berry. Why not? Rocco Berry to score a try. And we'll back in also, we will go with Big Adam for Newitt Blake to barge over as well. As for the Knights, I will probably say Bradman Best, is a big best one to back for a try scorer in this one for the Knights. Dane Gagai as well. And we'll go with Greg Marju on that other wing also. So, everyone, I'm backing a Warriors win. Back the boys in here to win this game. We need a bounce back. We need the 2 points. And we will get this win, I reckon. And I'm going to go Warriors 22 points to the Knights 16. That's right, 22 to 16. I don't see a lot of points in this game. I think it'll be the Warriors will hang on for a victory. The Knights in the last couple of minutes will be trying to get a try, and the Warriors will just cling on to get their first win for a while. So I'm going to go with the Warriors to win this game and get a big 2 competition points against the Newcastle Knights. And look, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can put in a complete performance and, get that result that we really need to get desperately, in my opinion. Must-win game, and looking forward to it. But, guys, make sure you don't forget to like this video. Please, everyone, like this video. Make sure you don't forget to click the thumbs up button. And also, don't forget as well to make sure if you are a new viewer to this YouTube channel, please also subscribe to the channel. Click that subscribe button down below. Subscribing to the channel is absolutely free, everyone. It's absolutely free. Doesn't cost anything at all. And all it takes is just one simple click of a button. And I appreciate all the support, guys. I really do. Thanks to those who have recently watched videos, viewed videos, comments, subscribed. And look, if you haven't done so already, please go and also check out my live interview and chat with New Zealand Sky Sports New Zealand commentator for all the Warriors games over there in New Zealand, Glenn Lama. And it was a great discussion and chat with Glenn Lama. Really enjoyed that. And it was great for him to give me his time and come on the channel to have a chat. So please go and check that out on Warriors NRL Fanatics YouTube channel. The chat interview with Glenn Lama. And also plenty of content to come, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. A couple of live streams that I have scheduled over the next couple of weeks, so looking forward to that one. Also Monday night next week, I've got Superfan Bunty Afoa Appreciation Society President Anton Poser, a great guy, Anton Poser. I met him at for the very first time at the Go Media Mount Smart Stadium in that Newcastle game in round 4. And we'll have him coming on the channel next Monday night to have a chat about all things Warriors, talk about the Knights game, And yeah, we'll ask him what his love is about Bunty Afoa. But looking forward to having him on, and a couple of other chats coming up. So stay locked in for that one. But thanks everyone for watching. Up the Wars, go the Mighty Warriors, and hopefully we see this team get back to winning ways on Sunday down in Newcastle.